Jumbo Mwenzi, for those who know. For those who don't know, I want to tell you a story about a man named George. There was a brother who was convicted of a gas station robbery and was netted a prison term of 1 year to life, one of the longest prison terms at that particular time. And when he went to prison, he formed what was called the Black Vanguard in the year 1966. But while he was in prison, the Latino gangs or the Mexican gangs was basically harassing the black prisoners. The black prisoners and the prisoners themselves didn't have no rights, didn't have no type of protection within, the prison structure. So therefore, this brother formed the Black Vanguard, which first was the Wolf Pack. But after that, the Black Vanguard was charged with educating, changing the mindset of the black convict from one of a criminal mentality to a political mentality. See, prison is where we send, or where society sends, some of it's forgotten. Some of the POWs, prisoners of war, those is lost and forgotten. It sends these men there to more or less teach them a lesson, but it's really to re-indoctrinate them into this society. But the bottom line is this: the prison industrial complex don't work. And a man called George Jackson was here to show and prove that the prison industrial complex don't work. While in prison, you have certain men who are unconventional thinkers, men who are some of the strongest, some of the wisest. If you can run a drug empire on the knowledge that we can run right away from them. Just the knowledge that's been hidden. These are the things that we've been, taught to fear. Success. We've been taught to fear strength, loyalty, discipline, respect, trust, honor. These are things that we shun and we shy away from as black men, as young black men. We think that it's slick to be an ignorant motherfucker. We think that it's slick to act as if we don't know, to play dumb and play stupid. But that day is dead, brother. It really is. If you're talking to me and you're dealing with me, it's my way or the highway. And the only thing I respect is intelligence, alertness, seriousness, responsibility. Loyalty, respect, trust, and honor are serious things, serious principles. This brother laid his life down for them. His little brother, Comrade Johnson. Comrade Johnson is 17 years old. Stormed the Marin County Courthouse. He went there with the idea in mind to free the Soledad brothers. More on the Soledad brothers in the next upcoming chapters. But he went to free the Soledad brothers, in which his brother was one. Free the drum go, John Clutchett. These brothers were on trial for so-called killing a correctional officer. Corrupt or not corrupt. But the bottom line is Comrade George, whether he had something to do with the killing or not, what he would not do was denounce the killing. See, the reason why they wanted to try him is because he honestly said, I didn't have nothing to do with the killing. But I'm not going to say that he shouldn't have died because he was scum. And for that, the brother stood trial. Well, Comrade Johnson took up arms, got some comrades, and he stormed the courthouse. They took the state's attorney. They took a judge and lawyer. They took these people hostage, and he got the brothers out of there. They didn't get Comrade George, but he said, bring me my brother. He said, I'm in control now. And he sadistic cops opened fire and killed this brother in a line of duty. The duty to his brother. And in an interview with Comrade George, he asked him, he said, Comrade, he said, Brother George, do you think that your brother gave his life in vain? Do you think he died in vain? Comrade George said, well, my brother was a student of military theory. I knew he knew about military theory and military tactics. Did he take a calculated risk? I would think so. He said, but the same acts that my brother died for are the same reasons that will get a young soldier in Iraq right now, in Afghanistan right now, the Congressional Medal of Honor for dying for what he believed in. But the difference between my brother and these brothers right now, these soldiers dying, is that my brother died knowing who the real enemy is. Meaning he died on his feet rather than one more second on his knees. This is the mentality we got to put inside of us as men. I spoke about prison in the first segment because prison is where the training ground begins. Prison is where we take those that they've thrown away and we make them into something. We make them into what Comrade George envisioned in 1966 when he started something to give us some type of pride and dignity. When he gave us the opportunity to lift ourselves up by our bootstraps and become men and stop being pawns in the game. Everybody say the white man this, the white man that. Well, he played the music, but do we still got to dance to the beat? I'm saying this is a wake-up call to every brother, every sister, every person, whether they be oppressed, whether they be white, black, or anything, whether they be oppressed people. It's time for you to take the yokes off your neck. It's time for you to make a stand. Right now I'm using this computer thing to get across to the mass. I'm using this computer thing to spread whatever message needed to be spread, because at that particular time, brothers couldn't even write mail, couldn't even use telephones. Right now we got dirt bikes. You don't know what that is. That's what I initiated. But you see, there's pictures of myself on MySpace, and you wonder how I might have got that exclusive footage. Got that exclusive footage because we're doing it big everywhere we go. Wherever we go, we put ourselves in positions of influence. I might be working next to you on the line at McDonald's. I might be next to you in that telemarketing firm. Or I might be walking down the aisle taking pictures of you at your wedding. We everywhere. We a secret society, brothers. You gotta understand that those of us who had our feet and our necks stepped on for so long can finally get a chance, and that's through education. See, some of us gonna die, never get a chance to see what they call a promised land.
But just as Comrade Johnson didn't see the effects of what he did, just as Comrade George didn't live to see what he did, we might not live to see the effects of what we do. But if we be a father to our child, a soldier to our community, and a soldier in every one of our endeavors, then our legacy gonna live on. We're gonna replace the fear, replace the laziness, replace the foolishness and the disrespect that's been planted in our communities and our minds as people with loyalty, respect, trust, and honor. A sense of purpose, a sense of duty, and a sense of dignity. We're gonna reproduce men who die for nothing, who die because, who fight and die for a cause. We're going to change this mentality by keeping our children away from that first felony, because that first felony is what excludes them from the good old boys club. The good old boys club are those who have jobs, good homes, land of their own, friendship from all walks of life. But those are the things that's desirable about all human animals. And Comrade George, along with other black revolutionaries, laid their lives down so that we can have these things. How dare any brother, how dare any sister let that blood be in vain? My blood boils when I look at the ignorance of my own kind. My blood boils because I know who died for you. I know what they died for, and I will not let any one of you take that in vain. Stokely Carmichael said, in a revolution, before one white drop of blood gets spilled, we gotta kill every Negro. That's a Negro mentality. That's a mentality that won't work in 2008, 2009, or in 2010. It won't work. We're gonna get off our knees. We're going to do for self, and we're going to do it through cooperative economics. We're going to do it through work and responsibility. We're going to do it by linking up with other brothers of our own kind. You know how to cut hair? And you go down there to the church organization, you tell a pastor, I'm opening up a barbershop, and I need you to tell your whole congregation to come get their hair cut at my barbershop, support my business. Therefore, you got a whole clientele already established before your business even open the door. Then the pastor gonna have to play ball. You got to start dealing with these communities, leaning on these stores. If you got stores in your community, and I'm sure everybody has, and you walking in, they watch you like you stealing. You can't go 5 cents short. You got to bring them back 5 cents, and you can't even get out the store if you owe them 3 pennies. So we're gonna start Friends of the Community program. That means every store in the community in which we targeting going to become a friend to the community. The only way you're going to be a friend to us is we paying your children's college tuition, we paying your rent, we paying your car note, and you can't respect us and respect our dollar, then we're going to take our dollar elsewhere. We might stand in front of the store and tell everybody else to take their dollar elsewhere. But if you're a friend of the community, you're going to give back some of that money to the community so we can bring early childhood development classes, so we can get sickle cell screening, so we can get HIV awareness, so we can get syphilis awareness, so we can teach these children how to stay away from that first felony. So as long as these stores participate, then they're friends of the community. And if they're not friends of the community, they don't deserve our dollar. And that's what we got to understand. We got to respect ourselves first before anybody can respect us. I spoke about prison in the first segment again, but that's where it starts. But right now we took that criminal mentality because a lean artist is a lean artist. Whether you're leaning on suckers or you're leaning on stores, one way or another, you're leaning for a purpose now. You're taking your hustle and your muscle to a new level. I know a brother who used to sell smack, Park Heights. The next time I heard from the brother, he was driving the needle exchange van, still in the smack game. Now the brother started a program to get people off of drugs and get people out of prison. Still in the smack game, still dealing with prison, with an ex-convict himself, and he's still getting money because he took his hustle and his muscle to a new level. That was his evolution. Some of us ain't even got to go to prison now because that's why I'm here. I got my face showing, and I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this shit. But the bottom line is this: I'm going to be the one to step out there as the vanguard, the first line of defense between you and those beasts, between you and the oppressor. So therefore, don't let my blood, don't let my sacrifices be in vain. Just like Comrade George's sacrifices was not in vain to me. And any other brother like me, get at me, get with me, link up. Let's do it like gorillas supposed to do it.